Good evening. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Think Show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called African American didn't find themselves in America in the trunk of a ship. Listen, if you don't get what is said tonight, if you don't understand what we're trying to convey, step up and ask the question. And when the question is answered, don't run and give no bullshit answers like most Negroes do. Answer the question because remember, your children are here to replace you. And if you give them the same shit that you've been given for the past 100 years, they're going to be in a worse position than you. Now, one of the things that the African American or the black people normally do is try to play dumb. Remember this, they're not playing, they are. And if you have any questions about that, please step up. We're going to put the link to the chat in the chat. If you have something to say, all that we ask is that you don't come up and say no dumb shit. Because when the African American or black speaks, that's all they say. Tonight's insight is going to be proof that the African American is disappearing right before your eyes. Like I say, if you can't see it, if you don't know, if you never saw it, if you don't think about it, you're going to find out tonight. Now, most people, about time we get to this point, they flee because they have nothing to say. They know that they have been bullshitting for the past 100 years, at least. I can go back another 100 years prior to that, but most Negroes will become confused. So I'm going to put the link to the chat in the chat right now. So if you have something to say or have something to add or have something to take away, please, we implore you, share your thoughts, share your ideas so we can show how fucked up we have become over the years and try to pretend like we doing something and not doing a goddamn thing. So here's the link to the chat. No one says this Indian talk confuses me. Well, sir, you calling yourself no one should confuse you. So I understand. I understand that you're confused. Most Negroes are confused. Most are. 90%. You call yourself no one. You call yourself nothing. What am I supposed to take from that? What are your children supposed to take from that? We're confused. We don't know nothing. And we try our damnedest not to try to know nothing. We put all our energy into that. We don't know where our great grandparents are from. We don't know who they were. We don't know what they ate. We don't know what they planted. And when you look on the money, when you are on the money, because that's your idea, money to trade with other nations so they can trade back with you. Guess who don't know that? Amen. You think people left Britain, the jails of Britain, came over here with money when they didn't use money? They were under the edict of the king. Guess who don't know that? What you call the African American and black. So this is what I'm saying. This is what this is not me saying this. This is what you say. So this is what no one says. No one. He's no one. He's nobody. No, he don't. And if I say most of these shines are aliens, I'll get cussed out. But he's telling you, I'm not. I'm not. I ain't nobody. Oh no. This is what he's saying. My family is African and black people. Now check this out. So when you look at what an African is, African are named after Scipio Africanus, right? This was the people, the Romans, who came down to Europe and conquered the Europeans. And just like here in America, you hear places like Washington, D.C. That's supposed to be named after George Washington. Jefferson County, that's supposed to be named after Thomas Jefferson. All this bullshit going on. The African Scipio Africanus, did the same thing to African. But this cat, this is what he say. He's African. He's named after a Roman general. I'm sure before the Romans got to that place where we called African, them peoples had an idea about themselves. They referred to themselves as something what they came up with. But soon as the Romans came to conquer them and call themselves Africans, you started calling yourself an African. So I understand why you call yourself no one. I get it. And black simply means nothing. So I get it, dude. I get it. But you don't. And you will go on teaching your children this, your mama this. This is what you do. This is what black people do. Right? Anybody who doesn't see that, please come up and explain what you're seeing. Because you've been running your mouth, confusing everybody, haven't came up with no solutions, but you keep yapping, don't you? Gwendolyn, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Gwendolyn, which I'm thinking, I don't know, is a woman, is a mother, is a grandmother, is a daughter. She's the portal which all of us come through. Not Gwendolyn herself, but species like her, females, women. So if you go around the world and ask the world, how do black men treat their women? We want you to come up and answer no one because we know what you're going to do. We're ashamed of being African people. So this is the kind of shine that believes that a slave ship can travel the equator, which is the center of the earth, back and forth. The planet is moving back and forth. A ship can come over and drop people off here when they don't do that today. You would think all these cruise ship lines, you would think that they would give crews back to Africa. Do you know how much money they would make over the Negroes who think they came over here? They don't even do that today. Why? Because it's impossible. If you know anything about how the planet and how it shifts and how it moves, the waves, the seasons, you would know I mean, you can tell a 5-year-old kid this. They would know it. You're in the middle, the center of the earth. Hurricanes come through there. Somebody tell you they stacked you 500 on top of each other on a boat and brought you here. You don't think about it. You just do what you're told, don't you? And you'll say the same shit to your kids, and they will tell the same stuff to their children. Nice going. No one. That's what I'm saying. I put the link to the chat so you can come up and speak about it, but you won't even do that. And this is what I'm saying. And I bet all the women love you because you know everything. You were Umar Johnson. You were Tariq Nasheed. You talking all this bullshit, and none of it means nothing. Don't you? Tell the truth. You'll lie. All of us are African people, African black people. This is where we are. This is where we are. Gwendolyn, aren't we? So check this out. So with this cat, this is how backward this cat is. So when I first hit African American ain't African, that's all I heard. You just ashamed of your African self. Really? Really? And the sad part about it is most people think America, which you call African, we've talked about it before. You should know it. If you don't know, shame on you. Most people know. Most people know. There is no such thing as black people. You have never seen a black person. You have never seen somebody the color of your backpack. You have never seen nobody the color of your shoes. You have never seen nobody the color of black ink. And you got 90-year-old people saying they black. But they have seen black redacting documents. They have seen black blocking out the light as you see a football player putting that eye black under their eyes to block out the light. Simple. This is simple shit thinking. Simple. Guess who don't see it? No one. Nobody. Nothing. That's what that means. This is how you have been mind fucked through the years. I don't know. Hmm? Won't even ask themselves. If you in the 1940s called somebody in your family black, why would they slap the shit out of you? Because they knew that black mean they were being erased. Guess who don't know that today? Guess who don't know? Don't care. No one. You see? You see how you're played and you never know. So we're not gonna be long tonight. I just the dumb shit that people say nauseates me. I mean, damn. Don't pass this dumb shit on to your kids. Don't pass it on to your children. So, proof that African American is disappearing right before your eyes. Now, what the African American or black or they'll say some dumb shit, but just ride with me. I'm not going to be long tonight. Ride with me because I want to make sense to you. And I know an American was told to the African American black never makes sense. It just makes them dumb. And they get mad when we find out that they are really dumb. So it's like this. Remember a group called the Nation of Islam? I'm sure they're still out there. When you ask any Nation of Islam member, Copper Goddess, you see, and people think, people get it, people figure it out. Copper Goddess, which means she's a woman, which means when she speaks, most brothers, bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. She's telling you the truth. She's giving it to you. She's giving you what mothers should give their children, right? Right? And you see no one, if you read the comments, you're just ashamed of being your African self. You think I would pick an African woman over an American woman? Really? You think I would pick a woman anywhere on the planet other than a woman from here? Dude, you sound dumb. That's why I say stop speaking, because you're going to be made to look like an ass, because you are. You think I would pick a woman from anywhere in the world other than the place where my mama, grandmama, great grandmama come from? You would do that. That ain't that ain't me, dude. Even Copper Goddess say children don't buy that bullshit. She says malarkey, and I understand she gets it, but god damn, ugh, dude, you suck for real. This so Bev says this no one sounds like my sisters. Always telling my mother, you just hate your African self, Beverly. You know how many times I've heard that in the past 20 years. You just hate your African self. No, idiot. Africans hate you. You don't see that. To knock you off your port so they can come in and rip you off. That's what they do. Ask the sisters who married Africans. They'll tell you, the older sisters, the ones who went to school in the 60s, the ones who played that Raising the Sun. Remember the Raising the Sun, the sister? Oh, the African man is wonderful. Or when the president of Ghana went to a HBCU to learn, to go back and give Ghana away. Don't you know that? No, this is where we are. But let's get on with what we're here for tonight. Indians are native people here. That's not us, sir. Native people you don't know are from Asia. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. That's why I say stop talking. You're just going to put your foot in your mouth. And everything you said on here tonight proves that point. So we're going to stop dealing with you for a minute because this is the problem. You don't know, dude. Stop talking. So what you see here up on the screen is J. Edgar Hoover. And this is why we're making this simple tonight, where you understand it's not hard. You don't get it. J. Edgar Hoover was the first director of the FBI, dogged the indigenous community here in America, dogged them. You think I'm lying? Study the Black Panthers, study George, the brother who was up in California, all the Black Panthers all over, Fred Hampton was just the main one. This is what the COINTELPRO, all that, to destroy your black ass. See, this is no one doesn't know stuff like this. So don't speak. No, he wasn't a brother. That's some other shit that the Boule put to keep you confused. You got to remember. Remember what I said. Remember, when you see that image of Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, and Fard Muhammad, remember who Fard Muhammad was. Because I'm going to show you in a minute. And all that I didn't know, you're going to know. Gwendolyn Reed, you've had people who told you, and this is what I'm saying. This is why we can't not know. We look dumb not knowing. Gladys Knight put out a song 60 years ago called Heard Through the Grapevine. I think Marvin Gaye did it first. What did they tell you in that song? Believe half of what you see, none of what you hear. I'll say it again because we'll pretend like we didn't hear it. Believe half of what you see, none of what you hear. If you didn't look it up yourself, if you didn't study it yourself, which most Negroes don't do, they only listen to what other people say, which is why you're in the position that you're in now. What you say. I don't think nothing. Right. Don't you say, don't you have a say in what's going on? Don't you have a say? Average Negro. I just do what boss tell me to do. I don't know. Which is why we're in the position that we're in now. Back to the FBI. Yeah, that's what everybody hears. That's why we're in the position now. They'll tell you that Abraham Lincoln was black. Guess what the Negro would do? Abraham Lincoln was black. They'll tell you you came across the Atlantic pissing and shitting on each other. Guess what the black man would do? That's what boss say. Right? Ain't that what you do? Ain't that what you do? Whatever they tell you, you are trained to obey. If I'm wrong, like I say, I'm putting the link in the chat. Explain how that's not true. Explain how it's not true. I shared it. Explain. Please come up because I mean I'll change my mind if you give me some simple something that a 5-year-old can understand and be like, I can go with that. See, you can have a 5-year-old read the Bible and they'll tell you it's bullshit before they get to page 2. Guess what the African American Negro do? Right. So this is J. Edgar Hoover. This is J. Edgar Hoover. COINTELPRO, FBI. Do your research on this guy because I know most you don't. You don't believe in that. Check out this guy. Check him out. Check out what he does. And guess who's the FBI director today? Not your black ass. A man, no one. You got a cat over there from India, Pakistan. Remember, he's the same cat that bought you Nation of Islam. Amen. Snickel. The same man that bought you Nation of Islam. He's over the FBI today. never picked you, all the college you went to, all the education you got. This is who the FBI director is now. And guess what his main goal is? To get rid of your black ass. No one. Like I say, I put the link in the chat. Please come up and defend your master. Because that's all you can do. This is the FBI director now. You done went to school, you done got an education, you smart, you the black man. You the most educated person on the planet. You tell me, explain to us, please, 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 please come up. Explain to me all the throating you've been doing. He's a good person. Dude, this is what I'm saying. So this is what we have. This is what we have going on. You think if you went to where Kash Patel is from, his people would put you into one of the highest rankingest positions in their country? No one. I want you to come up and explain it. You won't. This is where you are. This is where you're leading your children to. Ali Khas, what's going on with Lisa? I think I had Lisa on a couple of weeks ago, and she's locked up. Corrupt government system. I mean, damn. But Ali, whatever your name is, the African American is no one. So when no one speaks, listen to them, because that's what African Americans and blacks are for. You are in a corrupt your judicial system. If you look up the number of jails that are between Georgia and Virginia, you would piss your pants. You would piss your pants. But guess what? As usual, I don't know. As usual, we've had her on. We spoke about how you can get to the whatever courts. Guess what? No one doesn't care. No one just cares about his Nikes, what game is coming on, what new line dance you know, typical shit. You'll pretend like you don't know it, but you do. So I just spoke to Lisa yesterday, and she's doing fine. And as far as this government goes, this court is bullshit. It's bullshit. Guess who's the only people that don't know it? The black, the African American. Lisa Dry still in land, and now she's in jail. Really? Still in her own land? That the people who've been dicking you around since you've been breathing, but you call them your boss? Really? So if I go to England and steal their land and they come back and try to get it, you know who they would send? They would send you to fuck me up. Really? People come from another country, steal the land, and the people who landed was try to get their land back, and you say she's stealing. Ugh. Laws are justified. Dude, you must be a white boy. You must be. For real. And so this is why the Negro African American is in the position they in, because that's the way most of them think. Yeah, they can't explain themselves. I put the link to the chat so we can hear your voice, so we can hear what you're talking about. But you won't do that. Why? Beverly says Patel looks perpetually shocked or surprised. Guess he's gonna pimp your ass. And guess what? No one is gonna say. I mean, got the perfect name. Guess what? No one is gonna say he can do it. He want to because he our boss. This is where we at. Don't pass this on to your children, because your children will be in a worse position than you. And remember, since you don't know your spiritual ideologies, see, these people have spiritual ideologies. They think the cow is sacred. The people who he's getting with thinks men created women. And unfortunately, most of us believe that. Your Bible tells you that two men created women. Guess who don't know that? Don't read. It's not that you don't read. You can't read. Study the what's that? What Thurgood Marshall came up with, and understand why your children speak how they speak. Why there's a school to prison pipeline. Alika, yeah, you know that Lisa's not stealing. But seriously, out of all of what you call African American Negroes, how many of them don't even care? 90%. You just think, yeah. I mean, so that's why we keep repeating it over and over, Beverly Martin, because this is what we have to go against. Robots. It's only a few of us. It's millions of them. We really don't have no backup. What you call black people, African American, they really don't care. They're pissed off because they're getting their EBT taken. They're getting fired from their jobs. So I was at one of the ladies who heard my information. She invited me to a store that she works at, and she was saying, "You have all this international food being sold. Where are the Black Americans' food being sold?" I'm like, "It's being sold by other people. They don't care. They think they Africans. They don't really care." You got to start thinking, because you got to start passing this information on to your children. And if you study the spiritual ideologies of the indigenous people here in America, if you study them, it would put you kind of closer to what you should be understanding and knowing. But we really don't. We really don't. We're really not into that. We don't care. We don't care. We seriously, we really don't. And so, as always, as always, I show this image. I show this image Because when the Romans and all those people started coming over here, they drew up the people that they saw. That they do, like they do the maps and all that. They drew up the people that they saw. Those people don't look black to me. I know no one. You say you black and blah, blah, blah. These people don't look African to me at the time that there's images of Africans all over the place. Look nothing like these people like you look today. You don't look African. Your women don't look like the women in Africa. Your men don't look like the men in Africa. You will suspend that thought. You will suspend it and call yourself that anyway. Don't you? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. I know lying is a part of your makeup. Every time the black person or Negro talks, they have to lie. Embrace your African heritage and you'll feel better. Africans are coming over here to steal what's over here. They don't feel better about themselves and they're African. Come up and explain how I'll feel better. You won't. So this is what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention because Beverly, Gwendolyn, then figured it out. This is the artificial intelligence that everybody's calling up into. Everybody's getting their information from. Artificial intelligence. I had a same clown like no one. Asked him to explain if artificial intelligence is artificial and artificial means not real, explain why I should subscribe to it. Like African American, like no one is doing. He didn't say nothing. So, like I told you, this cat, Kash Patel, he's here replacing J. Edgar Hoover. What does that mean for the so-called Negro, the African American, the Moor, the Hebrew Israelite? What does that mean for them? And my suggestion is don't fall for this, you guys. Understand who you are. Understand who your people are. We push genealogy all the time. Your roots, not you black people, not you African Americans. Your roots dig deep here. Deep. Not just knee deep. She was totally deep. Remember that? Deep. But when you ignore it, when you want to be Greek and all these other ideologies that they come up with, and you don't know the ideologies of your people, for real, cuz. See, this is why I like the women from where I'm from. Like Gwendolyn Reed said, and I'm going to go ahead and end it now. You cannot embrace something that doesn't exist. Simple. No big words being used, nothing. Simple. You tell that to a 5-year-old, he'll get it. Guess who don't get it? The African American, black, Negro, Hebrew Israelite, Moor, all them ideologies that you're into don't add up to nothing. Black is beautiful. So remember this cat. Now this is this cat. This is how you know it's a bot. And so the sisters told you it's the Bible. Black is beautiful. So remember who came up with that first? Because remember, so uh so my mama, born in 45, 1945, said when she used the term black, she got the shit slapped out of her because those people, those elder people, knew it was a derogatory term to get rid of them. Guess who don't know that? So when James Brown came up with it, you notice that he used children to push that message. And then the Negro, who by that time had totally been not thinking, when you ask them, well, why was James Brown saying I'm black and I'm proud, but wearing a perm in Africa? Explain that. No one. You'll get what you're getting from no one. Nothing. You guys have a good night. We'll see you next time. Peace.